In his first report to this council, Michael Link embarrasses the Canadian legal system that licenses him and Western University Law School that employs him. He starts by embracing his UN job description that he stresses is, quote, focused on violations of the law committed by Israel, and thus this analysis is limited to that discussion, end of quote. After trashing Rule of Law 101, Professor Link purports to delve into the subject of human rights defenders, albeit only defenders of Palestinian human rights, Jewish human rights having been expressly excluded. The reader soon understands why Link was chosen by this council for the job and why he took it. On his short list of individual Palestinian human rights defenders, whom Link passionately defends, is one Manal Tamimi, described benevolently as a field researcher with the Women's Center for Legal Aid and Counseling. Here is a small sampling from the last 6 months alone of the Twitter feed of Link's human rights heroine. God-chosen baby-burning Israeli scum. Nazi Zionist forces shot a girl. Even Satan wants Netanyahu to teach him. If you can drink a cup of coffee yards from the body of the schoolgirl you just executed, you're probably a Zionist. A caricature of a soldier with the Star of David plaster on him, shooting a small child through the head. And the objective of anti-Semites from Ramallah and Gaza City to Geneva and London, Ontario, an image of a man with a gun pointing to a map of all of Israel as all belonging to Palestine. This Human Rights Council and this Human Rights Rapporteur believe this is a human rights defender. So would the Third Reich.
Thank you, President. More than one statement has been made which goes beyond the mandate of this sitting, this interactive dialogue with the Special Rapporteur. You have permitted, President, several speakers to go outside this context to talk using unacceptable terms about Nazism, about Ms. Rima Khalaf, and so we would like this to be stopped so that we can pursue this interactive dialogue. Thank you, President. We have too noted the fact that some statements made are not respecting the traditions of this Human Rights Council and the United Nations. We have noted some terms which are humiliating vis-à-vis the Council, and we call upon you, President, to call for the respect of our traditions within the Human Rights Council. Thank you.
Pakistan,
you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would support the viewpoints that have already been expressed by the State of Palestine as well as Egypt, and we would reiterate that the language should be in line with that of that is allowed, and the NGOs should follow the UN Charter on which we all have agreed upon, and should follow it in true letter and spirit. Thank you, Mr. President.
Israel has used the worst kind of abuse, arbitrary practices, ethnic cleansing, the theft of land, and imposing a regime of apartheid. We condemn the crimes of Israel. These violations include the building of apartheid walls.
Israeli officials who have perpetrated crimes against humanity.
The apartheid policy practiced by Israel.
Israel continues to exercise apartheid in Palestine.
Ethnic cleansing. We have an apartheid that is being imposed by the occupying power on the Palestinian people.
Imposition of an apartheid regime.
Israel is guilty of the crime of apartheid.
Built an apartheid wall.
Apartheid still exists.
Which crimes against humanity.
It's an apartheid regime.
The Israel is guilty of policies that constitute the crime of apartheid, bring to an end the crime of apartheid against the Palestinian people. And
crimes against humanity committed by Israel, as well as the Israeli apartheid policy.
Israel established a racist system of apartheid.
Colonization, ethnic cleansing and systematic oppression
and domination of non-Jews.
The crime of genocide perpetrated by Israel officials.
De facto apartheid situation, and the level of crimes have reached the level of genocide.
Apartheid, discrimination and human rights violations without any respect for human life.